everyone, guess what? Whisker Biscuits! How's everybody doing? Another live stream coming at you from Killbot&GorGorAttack. Let's see, Lucky Metal says first, awesome. You have your little validation right there, and if you guys will just give me a second, I will post the link to this onto my Facebook page. Yeah, got all kinds of exciting stuff going on. Everybody's saying hello, hello, hello. Morday Doll says I should sleep. No, you shouldn't. You should hang with your Uncle Tony. You know what? And I'll tell you something else I'm going to do is I'm going to correct my mistake from last time. And I'm going to see if I can have the comments coming up on here. That way, you know, I can see them on here and not have to stop the phone every 5 minutes like I did last time. And it appears that... Nice shirt, thank you very much. Whoever it was, I was trying to see that, and... Okay, so... Yep, so this shirt, this Morbid Angel shirt, I actually got a compliment on it when I was in Philly to see Ghost. I bought it from Angry Young and Poor. A lot of people seem to really like it, so, I mean, the Deadite Slayer asks, are you in a car? Yes, I'm in the truck right now because I had to drive to a safe location with good internet. That way I could stream, because at my house, the internet is basically non-existent. I'm paying $100 is being paid a month for basically nothing. Like 3 gigabytes of data, and it's basically crap data. So lately I've been having to go to this school around the corner, that way I could upload, because we found out the password. And, you know, I figured, you know, I could go over there and upload, and the school's Wi-Fi is actually a lot faster than Starbucks. So I figured, you know, maybe just, I don't know, just upload it there until they change the password. Let's see, so, looks like the comments are coming in pretty good. So, let's have fun, shall we? Carson Young says, I'm watching The Burning right now. What is your favorite horror movie? Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn is my second favorite movie of all time. And, of course, Obligatory Monster for a high-energy live stream. And, of course, the cap is all bent up, so it's going to be really hard to get the sticker off. Metal and Hockey Loving Tomboy asks, am I into any sports? No, I'm not. Unless you call zombie killing a sport. Evan W. says, do you like Danzig? Absolutely. He's an asshole, but I like him. What's your favorite Ghost album or song from Mason Moore? I would say Cerise, probably. Either that or Monstrance Clock, one or the other. You know what? Let's see. Open in a new window. Here we go. Forgive me if I'm just still trying to configure this, because I'm trying to make sure that everything is being seen in a not so aggravating fashion. Well, Metalhead99 asks, what was your favorite metal show or concert you've attended? That would be my very first death metal show, which was, actually no, it would be Cannibal Corpse and Obituary last February. I did a video on it, and, best show I've ever been to. Let's see, go to the Facebook, and let's see what happens. And by the way, everybody, I have a whole list of things I want to talk about tonight, too, so, yeah, there aren't going to be a whole lot of awkward pauses. You know, maybe break up some of the monotony. Oh, what's your opinion on this band and this band and this band? Did you know that you look like this asshole and that asshole? Let's see, live streaming now. Okay, let's see. That ought to get everyone's attention. Let's see. Zombie Kitten, there she is! I love that woman! If you could only listen to one album for the rest of your life, what would it be? I don't know. Between my 4 favorite albums, it's hard to pick one, but I don't know. Probably Entombed Left Hand Path. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's Antonio Lopez asks, how tall am I? 6 even. Definitely. Let's see. Cyclops 34, Cannibal Corpse or Morbid Angel? Probably Morbid Angel. Joker asks Exodus or Overkill. Exodus, simply because I'm going to see them next month, more than likely. You know, they're doing a tour with Obituary soon, and I can't wait! That's going to be my 4th time seeing them. Obituary is like the best live death metal band on the planet. You know, the energy, the songs they play, excuse me, the fact that they change up their set list every time, it's so awesome! Christian Kami, do you delve into metalcore and deathcore? No, I do not. Now, occasionally there will be a deathcore band here and there that I'll see live just because they're on the bill. You know, like with Cannibal Corpse or Cryptopsy or something. And I'll see them and, you know, take them with an open mind and hope that they're good. I mean, it's just, you know, the breakdowns for no reason thing I'm just not really into. Thrash Overload, Slowly Rot or Cause of Death. Cause of Death. In fact, actually, check this out. I might have showed you guys this already, but, you know, I've had this Cause of Death wallet since I was like 15. Oh wow, that's interesting. So on the phone, you know, it shows the screen and it shows me in a mirror image, and on the laptop it shows me in the correct image. So that's interesting. I don't see why it couldn't just show the correct image right off the bat, but Andrew Velasquez collab with Black Metal Werewolf. Hey, we got to come up with an idea. You know, we've talked about it. We would both love to do a video together at some point. We just gotta come up with ideas, stuff to do. And it's a little difficult because, you know, he loves discussion videos more than I do. And I can do a discussion video, but it's like, you know, we gotta make sure that, you know, if I'm gonna be doing a video with somebody with that many subscribers, then I want to make sure that the result is awesome. Georgia Bird asks, do you like any folk metal bands? Well, I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, one of my best friends was in a band called Worm Your Oberos, which is like a folk doom experimental type of band. And, let's see, I've been listening to a lot of Agalloch lately, so, you know, I've been really enjoying the hell out of that. So, yeah, it's definitely, you know. Oh man, the questions are just flying by. Let's see. What's the band you wish you could have seen live? Well, there are several, Dystopia being my main one. Autopsy, because they're still around, and Death, you know. I would follow them on every tour. Oh, and the Ramones. You know, more than all the other Dead bands, I think I'd probably go see the Ramones more than anybody. Let's see. Are you a fan of Dissection from Georgia Bird? I really love how most of these live streams are basically, do you like this band, this band, this band, and this band? David Vincent or Steve Tucker from Hail Stephen Magel, however the hell you pronounce that. Probably Steve Tucker. I mean, I like Dave Vincent, but Steve I like his growl a little more. And on top of that, you know, the albums he played on, they're just so damn good. Well, Gateways was good. Heretic not so much, but I mean, well, I don't even remember who was playing on that. But the Deadite Slayer asks, "How old are you?" 21. Kenny McCormick asks, "Favorite album of this year?" Probably the Obituary self-titled album, but that might change when the new Exhumed album comes out. Who else is excited as hell for that? That one and the new Hemorrhage album. That's gonna be good. That's definitely gonna be good. Hey, look, it's Wyatt XM. Yay! How you doing, dude? Man, I've been wanting to hook up with you, dude. Dude, I got the Metal Pets video coming up. Send me a picture of your cat in front of your collection or something. I'll put it in a video. And while I have you here, dude, if you could slip the message by Infidel Amsterdam, maybe get his reptiles and scorpions and stuff, send them over, that'd be cool too. But, you know, that might be too big of a favor. I don't know. It's up to you, dude. Love you, man. You should put on more videos about your cats, from Brutalis Katchen. I might do that. The thing about cats is, their behavior is so unpredictable. And sometimes, in order to catch some really good footage of your cats, you have to have your camera going all day long. That's what the guy from the Mean Kitty did. He just basically had his cameras going for hours and hours some days. So, I'd like to do that someday, but, If anything, I post a lot of cat stuff on my Instagram. And that's kind of the whole concept of the metal pets thing, is that, people love animals, especially in videos. So if I can combine the most metal animals that I can get that people send me, not only will be a very metal video, but it'll be a very cute and metal video. Weird combination, And plus, maybe it'll bring people closer to their pets. Okay, now I'm sounding a little too noble for my own good. Duff Beer asks, fan of Anal Cunt. Yes, I have their first album. And I got it by accident because Relapse sent me that album instead of Disrupts Unrest, which is the album I ordered instead. That one came out like the same month or so. Lord. Let's see. Maiden Evil 7. Hi, Killbot. Hi, dude. How you doing? Alex Guitars asked, do you have any pets? I have 2 cats, both ragdolls, Jezebel and Rosebud. Baphomet 783, what is your most used method of listening to music? Vinyl, CD, or internet? Mostly my iPod. I do have a pretty huge vinyl collection, but my iPod is what I use for like my walks and my exercise and stuff. If anything, I've been listening to a lot of Aerosmith lately because I've been driving around a lot, and there's a big Aerosmith CD in the CD player, and for some reason I didn't listen to a whole lot of Aerosmith when I was a kid, but I've been listening to them a lot lately because it's just they're pretty good. They've been growing on me. They had this song, A Dude Looks Like a Lady, which is about this guy who's like, oh, hey, that chick's kind of hot. I want to bang the shit out of her. So he walks up to her and he's like, hey, baby. And she's like, hey, baby, how you doing? Yeah. Oh, yeah, and they also have a song about cats. It's called Ragdoll. It's really nice. And then, okay, I'm stretching it a bit. But sometimes, the song What It Takes, it'll come on and I'll just belt it out while I'm driving. What's it gonna take to let you go? Oh, Lord. Mason Moore says, Killbot laughs like Jim Brewer. Probably. I'm going to sleep. Sorry, dude, getting up early. More from Morte Doll. Oh, what is it with everybody tired lately? Everybody's so tired now. It's like this friend of mine earlier today, I've been begging her to go to the show for this band that's touring right now. And, she was all like, oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to go to that. Oh, and then it turned into, oh, I might go to that, blah, 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 blah. And then tonight I'm like, hey, good luck at the show. And she's all like, oh, I'm not going. I busted my ass all day and I'm tired. I'm like, honey, I went to see that show. And I left at like noon that day and I got back at 7 a.m. the next morning. You know how long of a drive that was? Just to get there and see all those bands and then drive back. You're talking about tired. Oh, but you don't have any children. Yeah, I don't have any children. But I have kitties and they're like my children. And I have records and they're like my children too. And you know something else? I also don't have a husband that could watch the children while you go to the show. And you do. So excuses. That person's gonna miss out on a really good time because she's too tired. It's like, the show's only like 50 minutes away from this woman. So it's like, miss a whole hour of sleep, maybe, to see an awesome band, though, An hour of sleep is like the worst thing in the world. It's a band that hardly ever tours. Oh, man. Oh, man, I am so glad that I like myself. Let's find Uncle Tony a husband from Libu Sirikov. Man, I don't swing that way. I'm sorry if I've disappointed you, but I do not swing that way. Let's see. Noah the Wise asks, what's your favorite drum sound on any album, production-wise? Well, I gotta say, I really like the drum sound on Ghoul's Dungeon Bastards. That snare drum sound is just really addicting. And on top of that, let's see, what else do I like? I really like the drum sound on Entombed Left Hand Path, just because it's like it's dynamic, but at the same time, it's also very punchy, very clear, that type of thing. Wyatt XM asks, best black metal album of 2017. Love you, Wyatt. I want to say that one that one that you showed me that was hard to pronounce, the Azulazeth, whatever it was, that new album they had. Oh, Lord. What's your favorite Black Sabbath album? From, let's see, whoever it was. Probably Master of Reality. JP asks, sorry if I keep asking, but do you like Dream Theater? If so, what's your favorite album by them? Honestly, the most Dream Theater I've heard was Off the Planes, Trains, and Automobiles soundtrack, so I haven't heard a lot of them. That's a 2012 album. Wyatt, I could have swore that album came out like this year or last Christmas or something. I don't know. Just say the new Grave Gnosis album or split or whatever the hell it's called. Oh yeah, and the new Led by Serpents is pretty awesome too. It's an EP, but Jesus Christ. And speaking of which, Led by Serpents, I saw them live Saturday, and they were fucking nuts. Jesus Christ. I came to that show for Lustravi, and, all the extra bands were just a bonus for me. But Led by Serpents is touring with Lustravi right now. And Jesus Christ, those guys can fucking play. Not only are they nice as hell, but, like, their drummer especially, he can play speeds and tempos that are just amazing. And I'll tell you something else. There were a couple of instances during the show where he dropped this. He was playing so fast that he dropped the sticks and they flew over. But he didn't miss a beat. He just kept going while he was getting another stick. I mean, that guy could be in a tech death band. But, like, their stage presence was really good and everything, so, hey. Let's see. Dave Mustard Sane says, any recommended underground metal bands? Excuse me. Well, I guess I could go on all day. I want to say, let's see, one from recently. Grave Gnosis. Check out Grave Gnosis. They're pretty good. I saw them Saturday, too. Oh, Lord. Let's see. It's like 1:30 a.m. over here. Why am I still watching you? From Hank Brower. Because I amaze you, I mean, can't live without me. Everybody needs an Uncle Tony. So, let's see. Love the shirt from Brian Vlogs. Thank you very much, dude. Anyway, so check out this really cool fan drawing that I got today in the mail. Look at this. This guy is precise. I mean, this guy's obviously spent a lot of time on this drawing. But hey, this was some fan mail that I got today, and I figured maybe I'd show it off to everybody. And that's just a really accurate description of the leprosy man. This guy needs to draw some tattoos or something. But anyway, he's got that, and also he drew the Casey Jones looking guy on the Exhumer artwork. Whatever it's called, like Into the Fire or something like that. I don't know. He sent that album along with it, but yeah, really spot on, really accurate. Definitely. I appreciate getting stuff like that. You're succeeding and doing the right thing when people start sending us stuff, and I'm sure he's not going to mind at all, but I'm just gonna read his letter aloud because I'm sure that he would have wanted it. Oh yeah, by the way, awesome and accurate Sadist logo. Dear Killbot and GorGorAttack, I'm a longtime fan and I love all of your videos. I got bored one day and decided to draw the guy from the Leprosy album cover. A thought then occurred, who would like this a lot? Your name came to mind. Since you strike me as mainly a death metal guy, see the death logo, clever, so I gave you this doodle. Also included in this fan mail, this CD from my personal collection. It's great German thrash from the good old 80s. If by some chance you already own this album, then hey, free mini posters, enjoy. P.S. Listen to fucking. I can do that on Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction, the song Rocket Queen. There's fucking in there. Real fucking. Anyway. Illusion, seriously one of the fastest, raw, most brutal death thrash albums I've heard so far. A classic band. Up there with Bathory, Creator, Death, and mainly more. He's probably referring to Sadist right here. And let's see, if you like early 80s Slayer, then I suggest giving Insane's Wait and Pray a listen. It's basically a Show No Mercy Part 2, and I mean this in a good way. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Bogenhagen. You know, that was that's highly humbling and appreciated, and, I get so many album recommendations all the time that I just don't really have any time to sit through all of them. But the fact that you included a CD means that I must be totally obligated to listen to it. Plus, the album artwork's really cool, and like you said, it's from the good old 80s and a classic German thrash album, so hey, power to you, dude. Thank you. Ugh, that's a nasty muffler. Gilva Fenris Nagel, I'm supporting this guy. Why, thank you, dude. Thank you. Staring Eye says, Killbot, my first concert is tomorrow. Do you have any tips on the concert? Well, go ahead and watch my mosh pit and stage diving etiquette video if you need any tips on that. But if you don't want to go through that, then I'll just gloss over the points with you. Before you enter the mosh pit, just stand outside, look and see what everybody's doing, and just kind of go along with the groove. Now, don't be Bruce Lee and do any karate or anything. Like J. Hoff Film says, no karate in the pit. Shoulder mosh, try to keep your elbows inward, and, be respectful. If somebody falls down, then help them up. Don't trample over them. Don't try to fight anybody. And if somebody tries to fight you, don't try to fight them back. Try to get security, because they will throw you out. Also, only stage dive and crowd surf if it's allowed in the club. But ultimately, before anything else, try to protect your ears if you can. I know that's awesome to have the concert at full blast, but personally, I like to be able to hear the next day. So I use these really good these really good earplugs. They're about $13 on Amazon. They're called Etymotics. And, the sizing's a little weird. For a lot of people, they have to get the large cut because, the regular cut's a little too small for their ears. But, it totally flatlines the sound. And, it rolls off some of the treble. You can still hear everything, even the vocals. Now, between songs, if the singer's talking into the microphone, you may have to pull one of them out. That way you can hear them. But for the most part, they stay in my ears during the mosh pit. I mean, sometimes they're a little finicky, but just wear some earplugs, Protect your hearing, because believe me, if you go to a show and it's on full blast and you hear that for like 2 or 3 hours, you're not going to be able to hear for 2 or 3 days, and that can be a problem. And eventually it's going to become permanent if you do it over and over again. So, protect your hearing, dude. Is this a username? Says, Uncle Tony, tell us a fucking brutal joke. Well, good thing you said that, because I do have a couple jokes. And I posted this one on Facebook a while ago. But, wait, before I get that. Not so internet friendly. Hey, Tony, I would just like to say you're my most favorite YouTuber ever. I watch a lot of different YouTubes. You're actually one of the reasons I listen to metal. Stay awesome. Well, thank you, dude. Anyway, back to the joke. So, an inventor is going to the bank to get a loan for his invention. And the banker asks him, okay, so what are you inventing? Well, I'm inventing this cookie that can taste like a woman's vagina. Guy says, get out of here. No way. Hey, I brought a few with me. Try it. So the banker takes a bite. He says, man, this tastes like shit. The guy's like, oh, just flip it over. I heard that on the cruise ship back in February. Ah, Lord. I really love disturbing some of my viewers. Christiane YT. Hey, Uncle Tony. Why are there hardly any really cool metal shows and shows like in the McAllen, Texas? Share me your metal wisdom. Well, it's probably because most of the metal shows go to Houston and Dallas. I mean, those, to my knowledge, those are the two big cities along like El Paso and a couple others. But you know, I feel the struggle. You know, I've lived in North Carolina my entire life, obviously with my voice, but you know, like most of the big shows, they're either in Raleigh or Charlotte, and sometimes if the bands are really hardballing it, they'll be in the mountains in Asheville or wherever, where it takes 90 goddamn hours to drive. So, I mean, you know, it's, you know, I live in a state where having to go to shows, you know, it might be spread all over the place. Like Saturday, I had to drive. Actually, I drove an hour to the guy's house, and then we drove 3 hours to South Carolina. So, I mean, it was, you know, it's sometimes you just got to make that pilgrimage. I mean, the way I see it, these bands are coming a long way from home to play for us. So, you know, I don't really mind so much going a long distance to see them, especially since I have to if I want to see them with my current living arrangements in North Carolina. Anyway, Corbin asks, thought about seeing Guar. Are they any good without Odorous? Absolutely. See, in the last year or so that Odorous was alive and playing shows, his voice on stage wasn't exactly the best. Now, in the 90s, it was awesome, but, you know, he's late, up until his dying days, he started to sound like Ozzy a little bit, like all mush. Now, Blothar, you know, he's pretty cool because, you know, he's one of the original Beefcakes, so he has that really high-pitched, hardcore punk-sounding vocals going on. And he's pretty good. I mean, the stage personas are pretty much the same. I mean, you know, it's definitely worth seeing. I've seen him 3 times with Blothar, so hey. Alright, Cunt Crusher says, hi, Tony. Who do you think is the greatest guitarist of all time? I want to say Tony Iommi's my favorite, but, you know, I also gotta give respect to Jimi Hendrix. You know, and, I mean, Angus Young is the guitar player who made me want to pick up guitar, so that definitely, Metalhead2468. What should I do if I were in New York? There are never any metal bands playing besides Megadeth, but it's sold out. What should I do? Well, like I said, just travel, you know? Let's see. Satanas Skeletma Metallic Sonatus. That's a very long username. You know of any good local bands from where you're at? Oh yeah, Outlier. They're one of the big local bands. Also, you know, False Prophet if they're from North Carolina. I don't think they are, but you know, they're pretty good too. Dylan Noonan asks, what do you think of clean/brick wall production? It sucks. The brick wall, I mean. Now, clean production, you know, like Agaloc's later albums, that's not so bad, but like the brick wall production, man, let the music have some soul, you know? Goofy Metalhead, notice me, Uncle Tony. Okay, so, let's see what else I can talk about. Oh, yeah, so, let's see. So, yeah, I got a list of things I want to talk about because, you know, I'm 30 minutes in and I've only gotten through like 3 of these, so let's see. So, it's time for a really fun radio story. And after I tell this, you know, some of you might be able to tell me some funny radio stories of, you know, that you guys know. But, here's a radio story. Back in a place where I used to live, also North Carolina, there was a radio show called Lex and Terry in the Morning. And Terry's always been known to be kind of an abrasive guy, always kind of rude to his guests, and a little loudmouthed, a little annoying. But Lex, he seemed to be the more laid-back guy. I mean, they had a morning radio show, and sometimes, they would do talk shows, quizzes, interviews, that type thing, contests, typical radio stuff. And one day, and also they're known for their occasional strong language on there. I mean, they don't say anything like fuck or anything, but they do say stuff like son of a bitch and what an ass or something like that. I mean, and they say it a lot sometimes in a way that you would expect them to get shut down because, they're, the FCC would fine them or whatever. But anyway, one morning they were doing a radio show and they were doing a contest with 3 different women. They were doing this little quiz, and they would ask each one a question, and the one who'd get the right answer would get a point. That whole thing. And every time they got to the third person, the third woman would ask, "Hey, could you please repeat the question?" And she did this over and over and over and over again. So after like the 9th time of her saying, "Oh, could you please repeat the question?" Terry, he said, "Son of a bitch, suck my dick!" And then Lex said, "Terry, I don't think the delay machine's working today." And then it cut right to commercial. I couldn't believe he said that on the radio. And then about 5 minutes later, when they got back from commercial, Terry was like, "Yeah, before we cut to commercial, I said something very rude and harsh and uncalled for on the air, and I'm probably going to get fired for it, but I just wanted to say that I enjoyed entertaining everybody, just in case that happens. Let's get back to the show." And sure enough, he was still on the radio, but son of a bitch, suck my dick. Let's see. Somebody posted a really good comment over here. Acid Witch says, "Do you think metal has become a bit bloated with too many subgenres?" In a way, yes, because, it gives the elitists more ammunition to, bellyache, that whole thing. "Oh, it's not thrash metal, it's proto-thrash groove technical progressive metal." So, I mean, in a way, that gets a little annoying. But, I mean, the fact that there are so many different subgenres and styles of metal just shows me that it's evolving. Like, it's like Eric Rudin of Hate Eternal said in 2000. He said, the fact that metal is getting more extreme and the fact that there are so many different styles of metal coming out now, with bands like Nile and Immolation and all these other bands, it just shows that the genre is staying heavy and more evolved. It's evolving more and more as it goes. So, it's interesting. Mirox Dimitrov, what are your opinion on Behemoth? Yes, I like Behemoth. Anyway. Machinehead 55, how come you didn't do a video on the July Metalhead box? Well, I mean, they kind of, they were having a really bad month with the box, so they kind of asked me not to review it. And personally, I still really liked the box. There were a lot of really cool CDs in there, and, the autograph from the Razor guy was really cool, but, it definitely wasn't, the March box with Obituary and Creator, and that was my favorite. That was awesome. Jay, will you quit telling people to cut their hair? They're not going to do it. Zombie Kitten, is there a big 4 of death metal? Cannibal Corpse would definitely be up there. Who else would I say? Cannibal Corpse, Morbid Angel. Who else might there be? I want to say Obituary and then both her, maybe. I don't know. Like those are 4 that just came to my head. Those are my personal opinions. I don't know. Oh yeah, Death. Let's replace both her with Death, definitely. Anyway. Bob Rock says Autopsy. Yeah, Autopsy is definitely my favorite death metal band. Gotta love them. They're gonna have a new EP coming out later this year, and I can't wait for it. I personally hope that they play more stuff like the Acts of the Unspeakable album. Definitely. JP, what black metal bands should you start with if you haven't listened to much black metal? Congrats on the channel, by the way. Listen to Dark Throne. A Blaze in the Northern Sky was my first album by them, and I really loved it. I would also check out Satyrcon's Nemesis Divina, because that's a really good portrayal of, what black metal is all about. Also Immortal, Sons of Northern Darkness, the first few albums. There isn't a bad Immortal album. Let's see. Bored Metalhead, what do you think of crowd killing? It's unnecessary and unjustified. Glenn Fricker of Spectre Media Group, he did a video on this recently. And he talked about how crowd killing was idiotic and how it was such a bad thing for the scene and, it wasn't good, it wasn't doing anybody any favors. And I agree, I mean, you go there to have fun, and when you say you're going to get your teeth knocked out in the mosh pit, you generally mean that as a joke. But, I mean, the person he showed in his video, she had her teeth knocked out. She had bruises. She was in intensive care. There's just no need for that, I just have no fucking use for that. Anyway. Let's see. It's me. Are you planning on making new content like music and comedy? Oh, you mean like a Jared Dines type parody or an Adam Sandler type parody? I could. I mean, it's just not. I mean, the next video I'm going to do is going to be on. It's going to be a Phil Anselmo video, to say the least. Some of you might be aware of this from the Instagram page where I posted some pictures of me with the fake hair on my chin to make it look like a beard. And, I had the hoodie on, did this Phil Anselmo look. Gotta love Phil Anselmo. His vocals, his bands he's been in. He's been in every goddamn band. No, I've been in every goddamn band. I've been in 89 bands. Anyway, so, I posted the picture on the Facebook, and guess who responded? Somebody, I posted a picture, and in the caption I said, guess who I am? And somebody linked Infidel Amsterdam, said, oh, it looks like Infidel Amsterdam. And Infidel himself responded to it. He was like, oh no, not another one. Yes! Infidel is like the king of metal on YouTube, like, without a doubt. He's been around the longest, he's done the most. He is just so friggin' cool. So, it would be really cool if I could, get up with him. Maybe, he could send a picture of his animals, his scorpions, his snakes, his reptiles, whatever. And, it would be cool if he could include some of his pets in my upcoming Metal Pets video. That would be totally awesome. It would be, I mean, for one thing, it'd be nice to have a big name in there, but another thing, create some variety within the video, because I've been getting a lot of cat pictures, I've been getting a lot of dog pictures, and that's really nice, but, I'd also like to see some iguanas, some fish, maybe some bearded dragons, different types of pets. Let's see, somebody sent me some Vietnamese walking sticks, walking on a death shirt, and that is cool, It's, this is going to be a really good and interesting video. I mean, it's going to be a short video, but it's going to have a lot of people included, and it's going to make people feel appreciated, I think, Hank Brower, do I need to send a pic of my pig? Hey, if you can metalize the pig somehow, go for it. Send it over. Let's see. Sabbath05, I applied to 6 jobs today. Wish me luck, Tony. Hey, good luck, dude. Good luck selling yourself. Because, trust me, they're paying you for a skill by the hour. And while you get good at that skill, you don't really get good at anything else. But, enjoy yourself. Let's see. Tom Burton, you deserve more followers. Why, thank you. Thank you, thank you. You know, that's definitely helpful. It's humbling to hear. And for some reason, this page is taking a while to load. Let's see if I can lower the quality a little bit. Maybe keep the, oh, sheesh. Lots of new comments. Let's see. Logan Britton. Favorite Suffocation album? Effigy of the Forgotten, probably. Deetha5150. Have you checked out Varg Vikernes' YouTube channel through in perspective? I don't really pay attention to a whole lot of whatever Varg's doing because I don't know. I'm not really into that political talk, really, that he does. But, I mean, yeah, he might talk about the music occasionally and recording occasionally, but even then, you know, it just doesn't interest me. I mean, I like Burzum, but it's just, you know, for me, there are just other black metal bands that I like more, you know? Oh, Lord. Let's see. So, got another joke for you. Everybody ready for another joke? Sure you are. So, what did one lesbian vampire say to the other lesbian vampire? Anyone? See you in 28 days! Oh, I'm such an asshole. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Yeah, so back to the whole Phil Anselmo picture thing. You know, I posted a picture of me doing my little Phil Anselmo impression because the video's shot, I just gotta edit it, and I'm just so busy right now, I just hardly have time to do anything with it. Actually, the real answer to that is I'm a little tired. So I posted a picture of that, and a friend of mine told me, oh, but if you're going to do a video on Phil Anselmo, then it might get back to the real guy. You should put a disclaimer or a warning on there saying that you appreciate his work and you're a fan and all this stuff. And it's like, why? Disclaimers are for pussies. Everybody wants to put disclaimers on everything and put warnings on everything and trigger warnings. And, before you watch this video, there's something you need to know. No. Let the work speak for itself. On top of that, the man makes so much money. He's in every band known to man. He survived the whole dime bash white power thing like a champ. One of the bands he's in is like was in Pantera, which is one of the biggest metal bands in history. And he's a grown goddamn man. He's like 52 or something. I don't know. He's like in his 40s or 50s. Anyway, so it's like, you should see the stuff that he puts on YouTube. He did that video with whatever channel it was, and he was talking about, oh yeah, this is some shit called vocals. I'm going to teach you how to do vocals. First up, smoke the cigarette. Why aren't you smoking? Okay, you need to work on that. I'm going to go make an awesome goddamn salad. If he can make videos like that, then surely the man has a sense of humor enough to deal with me doing a little voice impression, but nobody knows what it's going to be yet. Nobody knows. Smash Up Mashup asks, would you consider making a video on Dave Mustaine? Oh, Dave Mustaine. Anyway, I don't know. I gotta get inspired by an idea first, everybody tells me about Megadeth and Dave Mustaine, and you should do a video on this and that, and it's like, I'd love to make more videos, but, I gotta know what to work with, Crud. So, speaking of Phil and all these drugs he potentially uses, there's going to be some drug use in the video, fake drugs, whatever. And, one of the YouTube guidelines is, you can't do any use of drugs or promotion of drugs. Promotion of drugs. How does that work? Oh, yeah, you should do drugs. Or, like, if you're a concert promoter. Oh, yeah, I want to move my drugs in here. We're going to sell out every ticket, and I'm going to put them on tour, and they're going to make you so much money. You know, this cocaine right here is the next big thing. You know, this cocaine is going to sell 1,000,000 times over, and blah, 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 you know. That type promotion. Be like, or if I were to do a video promoting drugs, you know, have all kinds of Coca-Cola posters in the background and wear like a heroin t-shirt or something, be like, oh yeah, you should use crack, it's my favorite. Yeah, definitely use that crack. It'll get you up and moving to do anything, you know? Like, who does that? Promotion of drugs? Oh my god. So, and of course, people are asking, you know, do I use drugs? No, I do not. The metal is the only drug I need. Yeah. And some people think it's an act. Like, I got a comment like today or yesterday who was all like, oh yeah, so, you know, you should drop the buffoonish metal act and, you know, just do like you did in the monologue for the Metalhead video, because that was so professional and so well-rounded and everything. And it's like, it's not an act, number one. And two, if I don't use it, it's going to be boring. I'm being myself, you know. Some people are like, oh yeah, seems like this guy's trying hard to be metal. No, I'm not trying at all. Little do people know. I mean, sometimes I do play up my stuff a little bit. Sometimes, not often. You know, like the bolt thrower video, the end, you know, that exaggerated stuff, you know. But, I mean, you know, a lot of it isn't acting. A lot of it's how I am in real life, you know. And if you go to shows and if you see me at shows, and you know that. And if you're a personal friend of mine and you know me personally and you Skype with me, then, you know, that's who I am. You know, I'm crazy, I'm nuts, and, you know, and part of it's because I just don't like people being tight asses all the time. You know, I'm surrounded by, you know, a lot of people who, you know, they're all serious all the time and blah, 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 blah. And I just, you know, I want to be fun. You know, I mean, part of the deal with Killbot&GorGorAttack is that I want my videos to make people feel good, okay? And, excuse me, to do this, you know, I gotta have fun doing it. And I gotta make the videos fun. And if that means being cheesy, then sure. I mean, some of my videos were meant to be ridiculous, meant to be cheesy, like Evil Dead 2, you know? You know, like, it's meant to be over the top, ridiculous. You know, Minefield of Metal, the video. So, I mean, you know, that's the type of stuff that makes people feel good, and I get a lot of great responses from it. So, I mean, if I wanted to do a boring video where I do discussions all the time, you know, that wouldn't be fun for me, you know. And if you want to watch that, then go watch Cover Killer Nation. You know, he does some good discussions sometimes. Now, sometimes he gets a little more specific than he needs to. But, I mean, you know, it's just one of those things where, you know, as a YouTuber, I deal with criticism every day. It's part of the job. It comes with the territory. And, you know, sometimes it does, you know, it does help. You know, like, people suggested, you know, reading off a teleprompter, so that's what I started doing. You know, it's not so bad. Let's see. Toby Reed, you are the man. Best channel I'm subscribed to. Well, thank you very much. You know, that definitely means a lot. Absolutely. So, quick question. I'm going to quit reading the comments for like a minute. Oh, well, actually, no. Who here has seen Lustravi on their current tour? Anyone? Let's see. Anyone letting the comments roll? Anyone seen Lustravi on tour? Anyone seen them ever? Awesome Bar, you seem like a decent guy. Well, thank you. Metalhead Gamer, you've seen Lustravi? Okay. Vince Fiero's seen Lustravi. Awesome. Wow, a lot of people have never seen Lustravi. Oh, TDV78 says I've seen them once. Tell Metal Monster to start posing again. Maybe someday. Zombie Kitten, I did. Yes, you did. You were with me. But that's, but, you know, they put on a really good show, you know. I saw them last Saturday. It was the first show I've been to since Primus a couple weeks ago in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And it was really good. It was at a place called Ground Zero in South Carolina, and there were 9 bands. Most of them black metal, some of them death metal. And the first couple bands were good sound-wise, but I think they needed to kind of work on their stage presence a little bit because they stood still a little too much. But the last 3 bands, led by Serpents, Lustravi, and Grave Gnosis, like those three were worth going. You know, worth the price of admission, worth driving hours to see, you know, just totally kick-ass time. And you know what? There weren't a whole lot of people there. I mean, most of the audience, I'd say, were the bands that were playing. So, I mean, it was a small place. There weren't a whole lot of people there, but it was totally worth it. It didn't matter, you know. There wasn't a mosh pit, but, you know, you could get up close and personal with the bands. You could talk to them if you wanted. And you know what? It was just really cool. And as far as the Lustravi show goes, that was my first time seeing them, and there are a lot of pictures of the show and me with the band on Instagram and Facebook if you guys want to see it. But as far as me recording the show, I got the idea, hey, maybe I should record the whole show. But me personally, I really hate when people record concerts with their phones and don't even look at the stage. I mean, for one thing, it blocks the way of view, and for another thing, you know, it annoys the hell out of me. But but there was a stack of chairs in the corner of the room, and I was like, oh, cool, so if I could prop my phone up on something, then I could just have the phone recording the show while I'm in front of the stage, so I don't have to hold it up or anything. So, you know, I stacked it up with a squished hot dog and a stack of plates, and I sandwiched the phone between those. And that's how I got the first few minutes of the show. Now, I came back to check on the phone to make sure that it was still recording, and the image was a little blurry. So I moved it to a locker nearby that was like perpendicular to it. And the locker wasn't going to work because that shook like 10 times worse. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I got like 15 minutes so far, so I may as well just record the rest of the show holding it, you know, as long as the phone is like out of my way, out of my line of sight, that way I can still enjoy myself. So it was really good. You know, the show looked really good, and the band was really happy with the live recording. In fact, they posted on their Facebook, they said, so this is probably the best live recording of Lustravi to date, because you can actually hear the fucking bass. Score! So you know, the band was really happy to see me, and I got some pictures with them, and they're really nice people, and, you know, the other bands that play with them were also really nice. You know, we had a little grill out in the parking lot, and that was just really awesome. So, I mean, it was just, you know, it was a really good day. It was a really good day. And tomorrow night, there's this show that's going on in Greensboro, which I might go to, and I forgot who's playing exactly, but a friend of mine invited me to go, so, you know, it might happen. And next month, of course, Obituary and Exodus, you know, I keep hearing, you know, all these stories about Exodus mosh pits being the most nuts, so I definitely want to see that. Shoemaker, this faggot gives white people a bad name. Man, why don't you go fuck yourself or something, you know? If you're gonna post shitty comments like that. Then again, you probably posted that just to get my attention. So, you know, more power to you, but you could do positive things for attention. Let's see. Vince Farrow, favorite Ball Thrower album. War Master, personally. That's my personal favorite. It was the first one I ever heard, and it's just absolutely awesome. It's really heavy. It's... Anyway, so bottom line, you know, anybody who misses those bands, just, you know, don't. Hopefully they'll be big enough that they can start touring more, so, you know, I support them. Let's see, but about the other concerts I went to, so the Primus concert, I went to see them in Lancaster, and you know what? There were more drugs smoked at that concert than all of my past concerts combined. No kidding. You know, there wasn't just pot or anything like typical concerts. You know, there was hard drugs, man. There were benzos, there was X, there was cocaine, there were pills, there was all sorts of stuff being done in the crowd. And I'll tell you something else, especially when Clutch was playing, there was all this joint passing in front of me, behind me, and to both sides of me. All kinds of joints were being passed. And let me tell you something, I didn't smoke a single bit that whole night, but there was enough going on. There was enough weed being smoked that when I got home that night, my eyes were red. Like, the secondhand smoke was enough. It was strong enough that it affected me a little bit. And of course, I had a guy straight up ask me, do you do ecstasy? So, I mean, there was a lot of that stuff going on. And then on top of that, this really drunk, obnoxious chick came up and bugged the shit out of me and the two guys who were standing beside me. They were talking about, she was talking about, oh yeah, so somebody gave me this drink and, you know, I don't know what's in it. Could you smell it or taste it and see if there's any ecstasy in it? And I said, honey, I'd never done ecstasy my whole life, and, you know, I don't know what to tell you. And it took 10 minutes of her babbling on about her searching for her boyfriend and people giving her drinks that, you know, after 10 minutes she finally left, and it was like, Jesus Christ. You know, by the end of it, I looked at the guy next to me, and he was just like, Cyrus Adkins, Tony, tell us the story of your first mosh pit. I just had mine. It was the Lamb of God and Slayer. They rocked my ass. Well, first death metal show I ever been to was Carcass and Obituary back in 2014. And it's not very often that the first band can get a mosh pit going, but Noisen played that night, and Jesus Christ, that place got moshing. So I didn't get into it at first, because, you know, it was my first time at a death metal show, and it was my first time in the mosh pit, so I waited until Exhumed got on. And Exhumed, of course, they're nuts. They're like one of the best live bands on the planet. But it was really nice because the mood, everybody was in such a good mood. You know, I mean, everybody was really nice to each other, and, you know, we were all high-fiving each other between songs, and we were all nice to each other, and I kept telling people, I said, hey, this is my first death metal concert. They were like, hey, right on, man. I hope you enjoy yourself. So, you know, I got in there, I moshed, it was really fun, but, you know, I found that after a few minutes, my ribs were cramping up a little bit because I wasn't breathing enough, I wasn't hydrated enough. And, you know, it was a really good experience. You know, it was a really laid-back, non-violent, good mosh pit. It was just really good, you know. JP, when is the next mosh pit in the Pendulum? Also, do you like Minor Threat? Yes, I love Minor Threat. I have their discography CD. And mosh pit in the Pendulum, I'm probably not going to do it this year. I'm definitely not going to do it this year because I just... You know, last year I worked really hard on those videos, and, you know, it was really time-consuming. They were aggravating to edit, and, you know, a lot of people just... You know, a lot of time and work went into those videos, and very few people watched them. And when people did watch them, they just complained endlessly on them, so I don't know. It seems like a lot more work and no payoff, you know? But, I mean, that doesn't mean that I won't be, you know... I just won't be messing. I'll still make videos for October, don't worry. I know this channel is just about music. Hold up. I know this channel is about metal music. I just want to say right now that Killbot is just so beautiful. Aww. Thank you. Oh, let's see. Next album you plan on getting by Toby Reed. Probably the next 9 Inch Nails, because you know what? The whole reason I didn't buy that yet is because he hasn't pressed the vinyl for it, and it's like, shit! Come on, press the vinyl already. You know, I mean, Trent's had a lot of issues with the vinyl past year or so. You know, this company he was working with, they fucked him over or whatever, so, you know. Lone Wolf, what bands would you recommend to someone trying to get into punk? Bad Brains and Discharge. And more specifically, the first 2 or 3 albums by respective bands, because, I mean, those, in my opinion, are the best. So, hey, I mean, you gotta have them. Let's see, anything else I wanted to mention here? Oh, yeah, so I really hate Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. And I hate the whole Rick-rolling thing to begin with, because it's getting kind of old. But you know what they should do? They should redefine Rick-rolling. Instead of Rick Astley, they should have a picture of Rick Ross and have some Masker or some Death Leprosy playing, or some Gods of Death or something playing. You know, just totally metalize Rick rolling. Hey, what's this link? You know. You know, that would be awesome. That would be totally awesome. Now, let's see. Okay, the comments are getting a little weird. Favorite Mayhem vocalist? Euronymous. Come on, that's the only Mayhem vocalist. You know? Okay, let's see. Antonio Cortez, say Sepultura. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to bait me. Everybody still gives me crap for the whole Sepultura thing when it's actually Sepultura. I know, it was pure, plain ignorance from a year ago. This is what happens when you don't have any friends who are into metal, and you have to rely on reading reviews off the internet. So, I mean, you know, that's just... I didn't know how to pronounce certain words, so hey. Oh, speaking of that video, Jeff Becerra of Possess commented on the video. Proud moment. You cannot get any more original death metal than that. In fact, I'm going to read off to you what he said. Hold up, I have it screenshotted. Man, I was just so happy when I read this. Thank you for the insights. It is a trip to see your spin on things. Possessed is and always will be a death metal band. At first, figured that Possessed would be the only death metal band, and that is what would help us separate us from the rest of the metal scene. And now that it has become a genre, I hope that death metal lives on forever. I intend to continue playing the Possessed brand of death metal and support all death metal bands out there. Working hard on the new LP now for you. Just as a footnote, Chuck and I were good friends, and I only wish he were still alive, that way we could collaborate. He is missed. Rest in peace, Chuck. Signed, Jeff Becerra. You know, I mean, Possessed was one of the first metal bands I've gotten into, and I just, you know, that... Amazing. Totally amazing. I love it. You know, and plus, you know, the fact that Possessed is getting ready to make a new album, just... It's awesome, you know? That's going to be the first album they've done since Beyond the Gates. I cannot wait for it. Hopefully it has better production than Beyond the Gates. There's no excuse for it not to at this point. But hey, I mean, it's... Noah Perez, do you Degent? I like Degent. I'm not huge into it, but I can listen to it. Whatever. GD Taco whatever, do you like Deathgasm? Yeah, I like Deathgasm. I watched it recently, and I thought it was okay. I might have been expecting more out of it because everybody talks about it nonstop. So I watched Deathgasm and Metalhead back to back, and I still like Metalhead a lot more. You know, it just has a better message, and it'll stand the test of time better. See, like, Deathgasm, the thing that bothered me about Deathgasm was the editing. I really hate quick editing in movies. You know, it's going to date the movie. You know, in 10, 15 years, people are going to say, wow, this came out in 2015. Like that, and plus, you know, it was, I don't know. It was a good movie. I think the second one's going to be a lot better. definitely. Have you seen the new J-Hop video? Yes, it is awesome. It is awesome, definitely. Lord. No, Perez. Rest in peace, Carpezzle. Shut your goddamn mouth, Carpezzle. I'm in every goddamn band. Did you say Degent? No, it's Degent, right? Or is it Gent? How the fuck do you pronounce this shit? I don't know. I don't know. Just do whatever you want. You know, I'm sitting here... oh, it's Gent? Okay, so it's not Degent, it's Gent. Okay, thank you. Thank you for correcting me. Everybody's gonna make fun of me for it now, and you know what? It's like I don't listen to it enough to care. You know, it's... Anyway. Toby Reed, I just found out about yesterday. You're not alone. Well, it's like, why does this shit have to be so hard to pronounce? Like, the English language is just so ruined, you know? Anyway. Tony, you're such a gentleman. Why, thank you, Shiver. Thank you. Crap. And, of course, this thing's not even working anymore. Really sucks. So, let's see what else I can talk about. Oh, yeah, so anybody else, speaking of Metalhead, you know, bringing back a minute ago where I was discussing Metalhead, you know, I mentioned back after I did that video, you know, the whole region coding issues I was having with the Blu-ray and all this other stuff. Well, guess what other region code issues I was having? The Decline of Western Civilization movies. Apparently, my copy of the movie that I got, it's Region B. You know, I've been able to watch them on my laptop for months. I've been able to do the videos on the first 2 of them. And then I finally went somewhere that had a PlayStation 4 so I could watch them on a big screen. And you know what? It said wrong region. Jesus Christ! You know? Like, Candy and Kate watching you. Nice lesbian vampire joke. Hey, how you doing? I miss you guys. Anyway, so yes, I wanted to watch those damn things on the big screen, and the fucking seller lied to me. That is a Blu-ray set that I bought back in like March or April, something like that. And so it was all, by the time I figured out that it was Region B, it was already too fucking late to return them or anything. So I had to sell the fucker on eBay and buy a whole new one. You know, isn't that a load of shit? They need to be banned and illegal, region codes. Ah, crud. I hate people. I hate people a lot. Chief Pineapple, I want to rape Tony with a knife. What with a knife? You wouldn't want me for long, asshole. Oh, Lord. Let's see. Chief Pineapple, do you hate me? I will if you keep posting crap like that. You know, stop drawing negative attention to yourself. You don't want me to despise you. Okay, so let's see. So, what other things? Looks like I got most of the stuff that I want to say on this list told, but I do have another story I want to tell, and we're already 70 minutes in, so I gotta wrap this up in a few minutes. But you know, this story. So I was doing a work-related project. Okay, I was doing this work-related project which required research, and you know, I was Googling some links, and I searched the first link, and it brought me to Pornhub. And then, you know, Pornhub was going through a glitch at that point, and it said that it couldn't let me escape the site until the video was finished, and it was like a 7-minute video. So I was like, ah, damn, I gotta watch this shit. So Anyway, so this video, you know, the whole shtick of this video, this porn video, was, yeah, you know, this woman, you know, her husband's cheating on her or whatever, and, you know, they have a kid together, and her kid's friend, who is actually, like, in his 30s, has a 5 o'clock shadow. He's wearing a Power Ranger shirt. Their kid's friend comes over, and he's like, "Oh, is Billy around?" "Oh, no, he's not around." "Oh, what's wrong, Mrs. Evans?" "Oh, my husband's cheating on me, and the worst part is that she's old enough to be his mother." "Oh, I don't know why he would cheat on you. You're so beautiful." "Have you ever been with another woman?" And of course, you know, one thing leads to another, and you know, near the end of the video, you know, he sticks it in her butt while she's doing a reverse cowgirl, and that's going on. And while that's going on, he reaches around front and, like, starts fingering her. So, and then she says, "Oh my God, both my holes? My husband never does that." Just a stupid fucking thing to say while you're making a porn movie. Both my holes? So I told this story to several people that I worked with at the time, and of course it became an inside joke for them. You know, they'd walk down the aisles and they'd say, "Both my holes, Tony?" You know, I can see right now in the comments section and on Instagram for the next while, people are gonna message me saying, "Both my holes?" Yami Chan, age restricted in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, exactly. Both my holes? Oh my. So Bunker 790. Tony should have let her sit on his dick. I wasn't in the porn movie, you know. Both my holes, Tony. Tommy Gurton, yeah, great. Noisy trucks passing by. Anyways. Sasha Bross, how did you feel about Chester Bennington? Suicide's no joke. You know, I lost 2 really good friends of mine to suicide, and, you know, it never leaves you, you know. I mean, those are 2 friends of mine that, you know, they'll never be on Earth again. So it's like, you know, I miss them every day. So, I mean, if you need help, call a hotline or something, talk to somebody, you know, that type thing. So, you know, it's, I mean, I still don't like Linkin Park in the slightest, but I mean, I do feel sorry for his family, his fans, whatever, so, you know. Guppy WD, carcass and obituary? Both my holes? Great comment, dude. Really good. Killbot's new song, Both My Holes, from Punk Method Chucky. Well, I mean, there is a song that I'm trying to write called Death by Skull Fucking, so maybe I'll change the name or something, I don't know. Oh, Lord. Thrashing Shaggy. Hey, Tony, I have an equally huge passion for metal and skateboarding, but I'm not sure which I should try to get a career in. Any suggestions? Well, both. I mean, why have just one career? I mean, you could make your name for yourself in all different types of fields, you know? Like, you know, Bam Margera, he's a big skater, and he's also in Jackass, so, I mean, on top of whatever else he does, like Viva La Bam, that type thing. So, you know, just see what happens. I mean, ultimately, skateboarding is a hobby. So, I don't know. Just see what you can do, you know? Good luck to you, dude. Oh, Lord. And it is getting dark out here. Let's see. Oh, let me drink this. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap this up in like 5 minutes. We're already at the 74-minute mark, so I think 80 minutes is going to be enough. Ian Gottier, are you ever going to do a collaboration video with Black Metal Werewolf? Well, like I said earlier, you know, You know, if we come up with an idea, then we'll do a video together. I'd love to do collaboration videos with a lot of metal YouTubers, you know, White XM being one, Infidel Amsterdam being another, Jared Dines, Jayhawk Films, you know, the list goes on. I mean, but ultimately, you know, you gotta know what kind of video that you're gonna do in order for it to happen, and we just haven't been able to think of anything, so, you know, it's just... Zombie Kitten, I miss you. Aw, I miss you too. Mason Moore, best live stream yet, man. You seem chill as fuck. Thank you. Thank you much. Let's see. Metalhead Gamer, do you play Guitar Hero and do you like Korn? I do not like Korn, and I played Guitar Hero when it first came out on PlayStation 2. So, I mean, hey, it's very nice. Very nice. Let's see. What else? What other stories do I have? Can't think of anything. Not so internet-friendly tornado of holes. The Amazing Satanist. I wish I had a friend like you. The only metalhead I know is a complete dickhead. Hey, you know, wait till you get older, dude. When I got older, you know, I met all sorts of cool people into metal, that kind of thing. So, hey, you know, it gets better the older you get. Hopefully. Nikhil Sharma. Anyone will tell who is he. Weird punctuation. Well, I'm Killbot&GorGorAttack. I am the Lord and Master of your universe. Watch my videos. They're amazing. Preferably Minefield of Metal and Black Metal ASMR, like those two. Valentin Mendoza, Hammer Smash Toll. Okay, telling that story was the best thing I ever done in one of these live streams ever. I am so glad I got to do it. Let's see. Let's see. I spelled everything wrong. What state do you live in? I live in North Carolina. Oh, let's see. What else? Walk on hole, boy! Political punk rocker, do you hate emos? I do. They give real metal fans a bad rap. Fuck emo garbage. I don't hate emos. I mean, a lot of them are pretty nice. I don't like the music. I'm not really into the clothing style, but if that's their thing, then go for it. I mean, it's just not really my cup of tea. Vinny Unknown. How do you feel about people in metal who single out certain bands as not being a particular genre, or saying that something is not real punk or real nu metal? Well, let me tell you something. Elitists are a pain in the ass everywhere. You know, and it's not just metal, it's not just punk, it's industrial too. You know, I mean, I did that video about a year ago getting into industrial. And some people were like, oh, but you can't dance to industrial, and Frontline Assembly is not industrial. Real industrial is Einstürzende, Niebatin, and Throbbing Gristle, and there hasn't been any industrial since then, and blah, 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 blah. It's like, wow, these are such amazing, nice, friendly, great people to get along with, and they do such great things for our society today, you know? They've cured cancer, they've been to Harvard, they've been to the moon, they done all these great things, and, you know, I love them, gotta have them in my life. No, they're a pain in the ass, I don't pay attention to them. Good music is good music. I don't worry so much about classifying music anymore. I used to when I first got into metal, but you know what, my thing is, I like all kinds of metal, I like all kinds of industrial, I like different kinds of punk. You know, as long as it's good music, that's what makes me happy. So, you know. Anyway, so I guess I'm gonna wrap this up. The last thing I want to say is, you know, I have the Metal Pets video coming up. The deadline is August 27th, and the premise of the video is, you know, you send me the most metal pictures of your pets that you can find, and you send them to me on the Facebook or Instagram. You send me the name of your animal, and if you want your name in the video, please say so. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it. And, you know, let's be creative. You know, you can have your dog wearing a maiden shirt, or you can have your fish swimming around with venom stickers on their tanks, or you can do all kinds of different things. It gives you a chance to be creative, and I want to see all kinds of different animals. And I'm going to have a couple of big names in the video. I'm not going to mention who they are, just in case they back out, but I am planning on having a couple of big names in the video. So you will be very happy if you do a submission that your name is beside these said names. So, let's see. That's all I want to say about that. Like the Facebook, follow the Instagram. I just passed 2,000 followers on there, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm like 12,400 subscribers on YouTube right now, and I just want to thank everybody a lot for continuing to watch and continuing to subscribe. You know, you guys sharing the videos and you guys continuing to watch them definitely fuels the fire. And I guess I will talk to all of you later. So it's very nice talking to y'all. Take care. Grind on.